Yo, Bracy Skills Connects back with a video, man. Y'all see me repping the brand today. We're gonna start this week off real right. It's gonna be a long week for me, man. This week is going to be the start. This weekend, excuse me. This weekend for me is going to be a start of a crazy range of events. This weekend I'm going to be actually going down south to visit my grandmother. My brother and my mom, they're already out there. They actually left the Bay Area this past Saturday, this past weekend, so they're out there currently right now. But I'm going to be going down there Thursday and just spending time with my fam just for the weekend. My mom's side of the family's from Mississippi, so I'll be out there. But starting with this weekend, all the way to probably like August, I'm gonna be leaving, going somewhere on the weekend. So it starts back up. But I'm excited though, to say the least. I'm very excited. Just got done with some training, and that leads into what this next video topic is going to be about. And that video, or this video, is gonna be about not being overly concerned with making mistakes in training session. You're not going to be perfect in a training session, okay? Yes, we strive to do everything correct. Yes, we want to do everything correct. Yes, we're trying to do everything to the best of our ability. However, sometimes development, you have to make mistakes in order to develop. And what better place to make those mistakes than training? When you're in training, that's the one time the turnovers don't count against you. The missed shots don't count against you. Starting over and doing something correct doesn't count against you. You can't start over in the game, but starting over to make sure that I grasp this skill set or this footwork movement or whatever I'm trying to do down, because once we eventually start going live, it's going to be put to use, and I want to make sure it's done correctly. But in route of doing that, there is a stretch of mistakes that I must make. I must make these mistakes in order for me to grasp and master these things down. You know, I'm gonna dumb it down so people can understand. You know, when you play video games for the first time, and I'm gonna say it can be just a new video game, there are things that you have to learn while playing the video game in order for you to become an expert or get used to doing things a certain way, or timing, whatever. Like there's a grace period of mistakes that you're gonna make en route of trying to learn and grasp something. And basketball is no different. And basketball actually takes a little longer because the reps that you have to do, you have to learn the skill, then you're gonna have to learn how to use the skill in a game situation. I've talked about that before. Learn how to use the skill that you're working on, and then actually being confident enough to use that in a game setting. So that is going to take a little longer as far as grasping something, but you got to start somewhere, and you can't be worried about the mistakes or trying to look perfect or being so upset that you made a mistake to the point where you're getting frustrated in a training session. That's not going to speed your development up, okay? It's great. I just told a client literally just now, hey, it's great to hold yourself accountable. That's a great thing. A lot of people don't hold themselves accountable in anything, right? But yes, you do want to hold yourself accountable, but you don't want to hold yourself accountable so much to the point where you're getting frustrated over what you're trying to accomplish. Training should not frustrate you. Training should be hard. Training, you should be pushed. Training, you should be exhausted. All those things, yes. But you shouldn't be frustrated in terms of, oh my God, why am I not making shots? Or, oh my God, why I can't do this move correctly? You have to stay even keel. I talked about that yesterday with dealing with shooting slumps. You have to stay even keel even in training, because you got to understand where you're at, and the purpose of where you're at. You're at training. Go look up what that word means. Training, to train for something. I'm training for something. I'm working for something. I'm rehearsing. So when you're doing that, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to start over. Right? It's okay to make sure everything is right. So when you're out here working with people, working with trainers, working with whoever, high school coach, even if it's just another player just at the park shooting around, yes, care about what you're doing. Hold yourself accountable. If you feel like you can go harder, go harder. But don't be in a training session frustrated because you messed up on a move or you missed a shot. Okay? You got to fight through that mentally. There's a thing called being mentally tough. That's a part of being mentally tough, is being able to remain focused when things are not going how you want it to go. You want to do the move perfect every time. Great, everybody does. But when it doesn't happen, can you remain focused to the point where it doesn't knock you off your concentration, to where you're visibly being frustrated? Now your other players that you're at the training session with and your coach that you're working with now sees that you're frustrated. The goal, part of being mentally tough, is staying focused on the task. So there has to be a level of mental toughness even in training sessions, because you want to develop. So that means that you got to do everything correctly, but it also means that if you don't do it correctly, you don't get frustrated to where it knocks you off your concentration. Okay, so remember that, players, guys and girls, when you're training, you're working out, don't get overly frustrated because you make a mistake. You're at training. Okay, you're supposed to make all the mistakes. Training, any training coach, any player development coach, we're supposed to see the worst of all of our players. We're supposed to see the worst of all of our players. The fans, the general public, when they pull up to the games, they see the best. Trainers and coaches see the worst. Fans, friends, opponents see the best. That's how this thing works. So I'm willing to see you at your worst to get you to your best. That's the best way to put it. If I don't see you at your worst, then there's no way everybody else is not going to see you at your best. Me seeing you at your worst and working through that so that your worst becomes your best, that's what training and player development is all about. I don't know if people, don't realize that, but that is what it's designed for. I got to see you at your worst and work you through that to get you to your best, so that when you go out to the public, you play games in front of people, you're performing at your absolute best, and you're also in the best shape. That's part of it, too. So remember that when you're in a training session, it's not bad to start over when you make a mistake. That's the one time you'll get to start over, is in training session. And again, you mess up. But let's work through the mistakes so that we get it right, so we don't mess up. That's training. So remember that, man. Don't be too caught up in the mistakes, man. Work through those. Work through all your mishaps, man. It's our job. We're supposed to fix that anyway. If we are who we say we are, our jobs is to correct that. So yes, make the mistakes. Make as many mistakes as you're supposed to. Our jobs is to make sure that you don't keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over. It may not be changed within one training session. It may not be changed within 1 month, but eventually you're going to see progress. That's our job. So make the mistakes, let us correct you, and let us work through that. Okay? Remember this. We see you at your worst. Everybody else, as far as games, we want them to see you at your best. That's how this game works. Like, comment, subscribe, man. We out.